Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Daniel. I'm here with Driving Solutions, and today we are going to do something different. We are going to connect our ServiceNow data to our Wix Studio website using REST API, and we'll be trying to display our races results. Okay. And try to maybe display some dynamic data. Right, so stay tuned. If you'd like to see that, just give us a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, so here we are in ServiceNow, and we are in the REST API Explorer. So if you search for Explorer, we can get to this REST API. And here, it gives us the REST API code sample that we can use to create our queries. Okay. So if we go here where it says namespace, right? So now is the namespace that we want to use to get to our tables. So we're gonna go to our table API. All right, and we're gonna use the get. So we're gonna first just get records from our ServiceNow instance. And if we see here, here's what the get HTTPS request looks like. So on Wix, we can do what it is, a fetch or get type of REST API. So first thing we need to do is we need to pick our table name. So this right here is going to help us build the structure of what that request needs to look like. So if we go here, we can pick our table name. So for example, we're gonna pick our tournament. So we're gonna start with the tournament. If we go to tournament, and then if we want to pick any particular fields that we want to get, we're gonna see all of our fields here. So we can get the title, we can get an image, we can get the amount of cars, we can get the list of competitors, we can get the state, we can get how many wins they need to advance, the sysid, the reference to the track, and the start date. Okay, and then some of these other ones are system fields. We can also get the sysid. All right, so it builds us that list here, and then we can set a limit of how many records we want to return. Okay, and then we have some other parameters that can be used. So see, here's the name of the parameter. Okay. All right, so this is gonna build us a query with these. So we're gonna use the sys parameter fields and the limit, and that's about it. That's all the required ones. And then here, see, it gives us, you can do different type of formats here. So we'll leave it at JSON. Okay. And then the authorization. Okay. And then you can add also like customize headers and stuff. So if we hit send, this is gives us like the HTTP method with all. This is what that link is going to look like. Okay, and then it responds with a 200 OK, right? And then we have all this other data here, and then this is what the response is going to look like. So we're going to get an object of results, and it's an array of items, right, of results. So each of these items is one of these records. Okay, so we have our records. It's going to look like that. Okay, so if we click here also, we can get a sample code in different formats. So if you do JavaScript, then this is kind of like what you can use to get that JavaScript. Okay, and then here you need a user ID and a password. Okay, so this is what you're gonna fill out with your own user ID, and it uses basic authentication. So see, here's the get, the address, and then it's that whole list of parameters. And then we have our regular application.json and all that. And then we have our authentication or authorization. And then it returns our request body here. Okay? So this is an example. You can use this on, pretty much any website. But now we're going to take a look at our Wix backend. So we are in our Wix, the sample site, and we turned on our dev mode. Okay, and this allows us to go to our backend, and we can create a backend file here. So I was doing some testing earlier, so I got some script going on here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. But before we can get any of that working, we first need to go into our ServiceNow instance, and we need to create a integration user. Okay, so this is a user account that you're going to use for your integration, and you can create different user accounts, and you can give it the roles and permissions that it needs to for that particular application. So in this case, we created a user. So if we go to users, where is it? Okay, we can go here. So we can go to our user account, and we created this one. We call it Wix Velo. The Wix, the backend code is called Velo, and we just created just a regular user. But then we need to check mark internal integration user. Okay. And then you can also have it web service access only, so this won't let that person log in as a user. I don't have that turned on yet. And we created a password for it. So we did a password reset, or we said password needs to reset. We logged in, we created the password. So we have a user ID and we have a password. Okay. So with that, we have our authentication. We have our authentication set up. Now, Wix also has what we call like secrets. So we can create like an account here, and we can manage like passwords in our secret manager. So here, basically, we created a secret for this account, and so we named it that, and it has just the password in there. So I can call API to get the secret, and it returns me the password. Okay, so we're not putting the password in our code. And you can do the same, like you can have you can create an object that has the username and password, and you can access both of them. But I just want to keep it simple, so I just put the password. Okay. So in our backend code, Wix now has a new security. It's called web methods. So we need to create a function that we can assign it a permission, right? And there's a permission that's like admin only, anyone, or you can create your customized permissions. Okay. So right now we're just keeping it open, so it's just anyone, but basically it's just me, right? In our design. So when we create our backend code, all right, so let me open this up. Oops. So our backend code, so the thing I like about Wix is that you can test your code like right away, and you can attach it to like visual elements easily, and it's really kind of easy to learn, like JavaScript, and it uses all the latest JavaScript ES 2020 implementation. So you get to use all the modern JavaScript, and And you can always like put your code and kind of like test it out right away. So I was doing some testing earlier today. So we took basically our example of our JavaScript from here, and I just refactored it. So the way this works is we need to kind of like wrap our function into this web method. And so it gets the permission, and then here is our function. So basically we can call this get tournaments, and we're gonna get all the tournaments, okay? So here, if we see here, we have our error function that's setting up our settings, okay? And that's where we have our method of get. So this is just gonna get records, right? And then we have our headers of this is our application.json, and then we have our authorization here. So we concatenating a string, which is our basic authentication. And then this right here will encrypt our password and user ID. So we put our user ID here, our colon, and then we are getting our secret. Okay, so if we import this get secret, so that password that we have in our secret manager, this is gonna return that password. Okay, so this is how we're setting up our authorization, right? And this is all in our settings that we are passing here at the end. See, we got settings down here. And then here is our fetch URL. Okay, so we have, you know, our instance name, we have the table name tournament, and then we have our parameters. Okay, and then here this is all inline. So we have title, competitor, so everything's an inline here. And then we have another sysparam of limit 10. Okay, and then all that is in our fetch response, which we are going to async await for it, and it's going to convert it to a JSON, right? So that becomes our data, and we're returning our data back to us. Okay, and then it will catch any errors that might be there. So if we run here, we can click this little icon here to run it. So this one, we don't pass anything to it. So we just hit run, and then we are calling it, and here is our result. Okay, so we have 3 records. Okay, so these are the 3 tournament records that we have, and we're getting all those details back. And then our reference fields are just a link and an ID. Okay, so we can review how we can use that in the future, but basically it's just a link to that record. Yeah. So if we go to this, I think this is going to take us to that record, right? If we're logged in, we can click on it, and all right, it's going to ask us to sign in. So, you know, if you can sign in, then it'll probably take you to the record. So let me see. I'm going to sign in. Let's see what. I'm going to sign in as the integration user. Oh, and it's an XML file. Okay, it's not information. All right, so okay, ACL. Okay, record not found. ACL. So yeah, so that's kind of like at the API level. So I'm not sure if this has access to it that way. But we do get the sysid, which we can then use to call other through the backend, right? Through the API. So we got the sysid, all right? So I'm gonna copy that sysid of this. Actually, let me pick one that has more detail. Okay, this one. So this one, if we go here, we got Oh yeah, because that was the track. I think the track actually there's some tables that don't have any permission set. I think that's the issue. And then here, actually there's no sysid. We're not getting the sysids. So we're gonna go back to our code here, and then if we wanted to add a parameter, so this percentage sign to C is like a comma, I believe. So I'm gonna copy that, and then I'm gonna type in this underscore ID, right? Is it like that? Yes, it's underscore ID, and then I'll put another to C, and then we'll run this once again. If we run it, we should be getting sysids now. Let's see. Yes, we get sysids. Okay, great. So I'm going to go and click on this one, sysid. All right. Now, we have another record here, or another function. So this one is get matches. Okay, so I created one here, and then I refactor it again. And in this case, we separated our URL. Okay, so this might be a little bit easier to kind of like manage. That way we can maybe make these dynamic, so we can pass like maybe we can pass the whole query. If we have a way of building these queries dynamically through the site, you know, we can definitely pass like the fields that we want to get, you know, things like that. So in this case, see, we're just appending the search params. So this way, if you use this, so we're calling our URL, and then we're appending search params append, and then we can append sysids this way. Well, I mean the fields this way, and then the limit, and then we also passing from the function the match ID. Okay, so we're passing a match ID for the round. So this one is calling on the race table. Okay, so this is for each individual races, and they are child to a match ID. Okay, so if we go here, we already copied. No, we copied. Actually, we copied. What did we copy? We copied the tournament ID. So how do we get the matches? Let me see. So here, actually we can run this one first. Oh no, this is get races, that's why. So this one get matches. So if we run this one really quick, this is gonna give us a list of all of our matches. So this one, oh, so here actually we need to pass our tournament ID. Okay. So if we let me see. Okay. Okay, we got a clipboard turn on. All right, so we can pass our sysid of the tournament, and now we're gonna get all of our matches up to 20, right? So the limit was 20, so it gives us the latest 20, I believe. Yeah, so this is round 5, so it goes from latest to earliest. All right, so here are all of our matches from our previous tournament. And then we're getting all these different fields in here. Okay, so now that we have our matches, right? So if we copy one of these match IDs, right? So let me copy this one. Does it have 2 racers? Yeah. So I'm gonna go and we're gonna copy our sysid here, and then we can run this other function, get races, right? So now we can do the same. So we're passing our sysid. Oops. Okay. All right. and then we pass our sys ID there of our match ID, right? So this is, oh, you know what? This one, okay, so on this one, user is not authorized. Okay, so see, this is the error. So it caught this error, and we're getting like the details, right? So this table right now, I did see this earlier. So basically, what's happening is apparently I didn't add any user permission when we created these tables. So I'm trying to figure out how to give the read and write access to oh no. Read and write access to, oh wait, I'm signing with the wrong account. Okay, let me log out. Yeah, so it kind of looked like maybe I was under that integration user. So that one has really like limited permissions just to the scope application. So that way, if anybody tries to use that for anything else, they won't be able to, you know, access other areas in your environment. Okay, so I'm system admin. Let's see. Let's go back to our App Engine Studio. Let's see. All right, so if we go to our race here, see, oh, you know what? I think it's here, right? Security. Okay, so see, admin. The admin. I think I gotta elevate that count. See, it says elevate security admin to make modifications. Okay, so let's see if we can do that from here. Can I do it from here? So elevate row, security admin. So when dealing with ACLs or role permissions, you need to be elevated account. So once we assign, see, they're empty, see? So we're gonna give it everything for the admin. The admin account can do everything. So we gave that role to the integration user. Perhaps in the future we can give it a more limited role that, you know, maybe if we don't want it deleting anything, maybe we can create a role just for the integration user that will have only the permissions you want it to have, right? So we don't have a integration user role created for that. So, you know, we're just giving them the admin access for now. So we can like do all of our development, and we can, you know, test everything out without having any issues like that. But now, if I go back to our application and rerun this again, let's see. All right, so now it's working. Great. So now we got access to our race. Okay, so we're getting our sysID, and then we can see all this other information. Great. So how do we use this? Okay, so now that we are getting like information, we got our backend functions going. We got get matches, get races, get tournament. Now, if we go to our front end, we have here. So basically what I want to show is, this is kind of like a dashboard that's going to show us the current race, right? So we'll have like a title of that current match that's going on. And then maybe we'll have like upcoming or past matches here. Maybe this could be like a, something with tabs that we can like see different types of lists here. And then and then here's kind of like what's going on right now, and then maybe it'll show the progress of the race. And once it changes, then we can kind of like um, maybe it could be event driven, right? There can be events that maybe we're getting when they're taking place, or maybe we can even control it from here. So in the meantime, what I would like to do is let me just see if we can connect these to our data. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to label stuff. Okay. So if we go here, everything has like an ID. So I like to kind of like have a standard of how I label my items. So I'm just gonna go really basic here. So I'll do text, title. Sometimes you gotta be more specific. If you have like different containers. This is basically a grid. We got a grid here, and then we got these elements inside the grid. So I'm just gonna do it pretty basic here. So we'll do R1, or this should be racer1, right? And then maybe you want to keep the names like similar to how you're naming stuff in the other system. Racer2. That way you don't have like different kind of names for things. So we do txt R1. Oh, you can't do underscore, so you can only do like dashes. So we had R1 time. Then txt R2 time. Right, and then this is gonna be txt matches. Some of these things are not gonna be dynamic. It's just, you're just naming stuff. So you know what it is. All right, so now here, this is what we call repeater. So a repeater, you can connect a data set to it. So like an array of items, and then it's gonna repeat itself for each item. Okay. And they can be paginated too. So if you have multiple, you can add a pagination function that will let you go to the next list or next page. Okay. But here you can reference the items also. So let's see, this is gonna be, so see, they can't be the same as this one, right? So that one is txt racer1. So here you can do txt racer1 repeater or something like that. txt time repeater. So once you label all your repeaters or all your elements, then we're gonna do something else. Okay, so just bear with me. So let's see, winner repeater. Okay, and then you can also name like the actual box itself. So we'll leave that box 5, and then you can also label the repeater name. See, repeater. So we'll put history. What is it? Matches. Match. I'll put match history repeater. Okay. All right, great. And see, even the box, like the cells, you can rename. We'll leave these as they are. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna go to the code. Okay. So the way this works is we are going to import this in here. So we can do import, and then you do like, you put the function in there like that, and then you do from, and then you do, what do you do? Like that. No. What do you do? Like that? How you do it? All right, let me see. Sometimes I gotta look it up because there's a lot of APIs out there. There's too many. Let me see. I'm gonna do import Wix window. Let's do that one. Window from. Okay, so yeah, they go like, okay, so they go in these, and then I think they go like that. Okay, I deleted it. Let me see. It tells you when you create a new one. Let me see what this one looks like. Oh. Okay, it's not a router. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, so, oh, it's backend. Okay, so we need to put backend. Okay. And then .web too. They have to end with .web, backend. Okay, so it's from backend. Oh, okay, there it goes. All right. And then we're gonna, so now we are going to get the names. So we got get tournaments, get matches, and get races. Okay. Okay, so you just put get tournaments. Okay. And then comma, get matches, get races. Okay, so see, it helps you find them, right? And then you just call them like a regular function. So they have something that's called onReady. So that's kind of like when it loads, you know, it's ready to be used. So I'm going to start with, okay, so we're gonna assign it to like a variable, right? So we do const tournaments equals get tournaments, like that. All right, so actually tournament, so I want to make this async await, right? So I'm actually gonna create like a function that's gonna be like function load tournaments. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is This is a regular function here. And then this is going to allow us to load this. And we're going to put it like in a drop down menu. Okay. So I'll do async. So let's go before that. I think it's at the beginning here, right? Async. Async. All right. And then we can do await. All right. And then, all right, so the other thing, we're gonna add like a drop-down menu. So this is gonna load like all the tournaments in a drop-down menu. Okay. So if we go here to input, we're gonna do drop-down. All right, so where's the drop-down? Okay, it's down here. All right, so here, let's pick this one. I'm gonna put it like kind of small in the corner here. So we gotta rename this. We'll put we'll call it tournaments. And then initial text, none. We'll use the browser looking one and nothing. Okay. And then we'll make it smaller. And then we'll kind of like put it up here in the corner here. And then we'll kind of like move this one down a little bit. Okay, so this tournaments, and then we just need to rename this one. So we'll do tournament drop down. Okay. Tournaments drop down. Okay. So we have our tournaments drop down. So what we can do is, so these drop down, they receive two things. They receive a value and a label. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, so to reference items in Wix, like these elements, we do $W, and then you can start typing the name of it, ornaments, right? And then you can pick it like that. Let's see, they look like that with the quotation, pound, and then the name of the element. Okay, and then you can do dot, and then like these are all the things you can do with it, right? So see, we have label. Okay, so we actually going to do options. So options is what we're going to fill up. So you got to map the options into it, which is you know, it's I always forget how to do that. But yeah, we assign those to the options. Once we get, so we want to get these tournaments, right? We want tournaments. So this data right here, and we're gonna do like dot map, and then something like that. And I think it's E, and then arrow function, and then I forget this part. I always gotta look this up because I don't know how to map things. So let me see if I can find some code that I have done before in my previous sites here. Let me see. We might have some mapping done in, oh, okay, I think I have some mapping done here. Yeah, I think I was working on something here. So yeah, you can always look it up. I mean, it will use all this modern JavaScript. and you can definitely you know, if you're familiar with JavaScript, then it makes it a lot easier. But you know, you're just dealing with different elements instead of the that document thing. So you're just calling up these elements directly, and I think it's a lot easier to kind of like attach to do data binding that way. So let me see if I can look up. I've done a couple of things in this site. Yeah, Wix API. There's a ton of things you can do. You can also look it up. So if we go to Wix, um, and they actually updated all their Wix API documentation here. But if you do drop down, let me see, drop down. They show you a lot of articles. The API itself, huh? Okay, so that's gonna be under here, the $W, and then we have all of our elements, and then we have drop down here. Okay. So we're looking at options. So if you go to options here, let's see. Options, okay. See, all this is new. This is totally new. But it's basically like an array of labels and values, and then they become, those are the options. Okay. So let's see, options, set or get options in a dropdown. Setting the option property sets all options available to a user. Options to an empty array to remove current dropdown options. Okay, so let's see, it's a label and a value. So the label we want to be the title of the tournament, and then the value is going to be the sys-ID. Okay. So to assign, all right, they don't show us how to do the whole assignment. Oh, wait a minute. Here's it. Okay. So it says set a list. Oh, so you can change it. So see, you need to have like an array of objects like that. So from our data, we need to create, for each one, we need to get a label and a value. All right, so let's see if we can find that from this site. I know I've done it. Let's see. So I was working on something here recently, and we are trying to do some attendance. Let me see, I think in this one. Okay, here we're using like okay, this is the page I was looking at, attendance. Oh, okay, so here it is. So see, so we are assigning options, and then we're getting the items. Okay, so see, we got, if we got items, so items ministry dot map. So we put ministry. Oh, see, I was almost there. So I'm gonna copy this whole thing over. So if we look at our get tournaments one more time, let's see, we get results, okay? And then here's our list. So we need to go into the results, right? So when we call it from the back, from the front end, I think we do get, let me see. So we need to do like dot results. So we do label, column, result, dot title, comma, value, oh, you know what? It's not even that. It's a E. So you assign it here. So it could be anything here. Then we'll put E dot sys ID. That. Oh, this goes inside. Okay. See, this is the confusing part to me. Okay, so here, that. Let me close them both. Oh, I forgot the error. Okay, so I'll explain this now. Let's see. Close this function here. Okay. So, actually, wait, let's put this out of here. I'm gonna get this out of here. Here at the bottom. Okay, and then we can call our load tournaments. Okay. So, let's review this. So we got our load tournaments. We are creating this tournaments variable, and we're waiting our tournaments. And if we get tournaments count more than, okay, so this total count, this is value in Wix. Okay, so I don't think we get this from here, but we can do length, right? If we have something in our tournaments, and then we have this new variable options. So it's going to be tournaments results map. We're mapping this letter E variable So we're getting the title for the label and the sys for the value. And then that's an object, right? And it's a map, so it's going to be an array of objects, and then we're assigning that to our options. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this. I'll go ahead and publish this, and we should be able to test this, right? And we can like view the site. You know, this site is just a test, so there's nothing, you know, we can do it live, there's no big deal. Let me see, or we can preview it. Let me just preview it. All right, so huh. All right, so we're getting something. Oh. But not looking like. Okay, so I'm gonna log it because we haven't logged anything. So let's go back, and we're getting some numbers here. I don't know where. Okay, so that I think we're not going deep enough. Okay, so I think we need to go and check to see what are we getting here. So let's do console.log tournaments. One moment. All right, so let's see. So we're doing a console log here. All right, so now we're getting some logs. Okay, so we get results. Oh, it's result. That's why. Okay, so we get result. So it is doing something, but here I got results, right? It's supposed to be result. Okay. So let's do this one more time. So we got our list here. So it should be 3 things. We get big number. Okay, I don't know where this is coming from. All right, so something is still not working correctly. We are getting our data. I wonder if all right, let's get rid of this condition here. Let's just do it. Oh, you know what? And then this thing, the numbers are coming from the choices that we got in here. So you can just like delete all this. So we don't have, because it will reload it. But since it wasn't like doing it correctly, I don't know if that if statement was just false, right? Oh, there you go. So now we got our tests. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got our list here. That looks good. So I wonder that if statement was let's do this dot. So undefined. Oh, see. So dot length is nothing. So I wonder what do we have to if we wanted to do that. Because we got results. Oh, I think I know. Okay, so actually, because it's results is what we have. So if we do result dot results or result dot length, right? How you say it? Length. Okay, let's see if that works now. So you gotta like dot walk into the right. Nope, undefined. So it doesn't like the API. I guess it's not like we don't get the length of it. It's just giving us results. Is that how you spell length? Oh, there you go. So we got 3. All right, so dot length works if you spell it correctly. So, so we can still add the if now. More than 0, then here. Tournaments. Okay. And you know, if there's nothing active, then you know maybe we can make a message show you know no active tournaments, I guess. So if we save this again, so it loads, takes a moment to load, right? We get our API working. Boom. Fellowship. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now once we pick this, right? Once we pick that, then we're gonna load our matches, right? So since we got a sysid here, right? Now we can use that to load our matches, okay? So let's see if we can quickly do that. That one should be a little bit easier. And in between all that, you can kind of like add a little graphic loading image to just keep the user like engaged that um you got something going on. So this is on change, so you can add a on change event, right? So if you do the element tournaments, right? So we get tournament drop down. And if you do on change, right? On change. And this one is like that. Then you can do arrow. Boom. So now you can do console log. And you can log the, so we want to get the same. Oh, actually we can do like that. You can do that target value, right? Target, let me see, target value. Let me see. And I guess you gotta do like that. And target. Target. Okay, let's see if this gives us our target value. That should show the sysid of this. Let's see. Change. Boom. Sysid. Nice. Okay, so So when this changes, we're gonna get this sysID. So then we can now create another function to get. So let's copy this right here. Let's see. And we're gonna call all this load matches. And then we're gonna do get matches. And then we're gonna pass tournament ID. And we pass that here. Tournament ID. If okay, then we can rename this here. Matches. Okay, so then here we're gonna do something else. Let's see. Matches. Oh, you know what? We can just, like, since we're doing this whole code, let's just copy this and let's put it over here. I'm just trying to show you as quick as possible. Oh, what happened? Where'd it go? Nothing. What happened? Nothing happened. All right, so I'm just gonna copy it here. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna rename this. We'll put matches. Matches. And then we'll put this. We'll call this matches drop down. All right, great. So now we go here. Just do matches drop down. And we're gonna do, okay, so we got matches option. So that one does have a title and has a sysID. Great. So if that doesn't show up, you just click there. Boom. No active matches. We'll call that no active matches. And we'll close this. Boom. All right. And then what we do is we're gonna now change this console log to load matches. Oop. Load matches. Okay. Let's see if that works. All right, so we have our tournament here. There's our tournament. Okay, so let's see. And we got some matches. Great. Awesome. And those are the matches for this tournament. Okay. And then if we click that, then maybe that will load the races in that match. Okay. So now we're gonna try to use this repeater, and hopefully we can load this right here. But see, we got like our matches loading, and this is again like this IDs so slow. Okay, well, it kind of worked earlier. I think on the live side it works a little bit better. So let's see if we can go one more level deep. And the code is almost the same, right? So actually, so this time, you're not gonna use this. We're gonna do load races. What did I do? Hold on, let's go back. Oh, okay, so actually we're gonna do on change of matches. Drop down. Okay. Gonna do um, let's do load races. I'm gonna pass the match ID. And we're passing the match ID. We can do this. Place here. We'll do this. Place, place, place. Okay, so now here, okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a repeater. Okay, so we're gonna call on this repeater. So we're gonna do match history repeater, and then this one's gonna be data. Actually, we're not mapping it. We're just so we just do data. Okay, so this uses like all the data, and then no, okay. So now from our repeater, so let me see. The repeater has, so now we gotta like connect the dots, right? So we go history. Okay, match history dot on item ready, right? Repeater. How do you do that? Okay, repeater. All right, so let's see the data. So we load our data and get repeater data, set repeater data. So we want to set the repeater data. So see, we create, okay, so we're getting all this. It needs a unique ID. Oh man, let me see. Well, there is a sys ID, so maybe we can use that. All right, so we're setting the data like that. And then repeater is not automatically applied to element repeater in the repeater items. You choose how to use the repeater data in item ready, on item remove, for items, or for each item. Callback functions. Most often you apply the data of a repeater item on the property and functions on the repeater element contained in that repeater element. Typically, you use on item ready function to set callback that populates the repeater elements with the data on the data array. The callback trigger for each new item in the data array as described below. Then you might use for items and for each item function to modify repeater elements at some point after data is originally set. Oh, okay. Because setting repeater data properly triggers on item ready callback to run. Make sure you call item ready before you set data properly. Failing to do so will mean that your callbacks are not triggered when you set the data property. You cannot modify the data array in place. To add, change, or remove objects from repeater data, store value of data properly in a variable, make changes to object of the data array, and reset the data property. When repeater data properly set, new repeater items are created for each object that has an ID value that is not already present in the current array of data objects. The elements in the new item are first populated with the data of the repeater's item template. Then the item ready element handler is triggered for each of the new items. Usually you will overwrite some or all the data populated from the item template on the item ready event handler with the data that specific item. When all of the item item ready event handler is have finished running, the new items are displayed. Okay, so let's see, modify populate repeater using data from a collection from static data. Okay, from external. Oh, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Define how to set up each new repeater item. Oh, see, this is what for each item. Index text. All right, let's try to use this one. If we go back, Okay, so this one has text tracer. Oh, you know what? All right, so I am gonna see what we're getting here. We got that. Actually, we need to get the data here. So I'm gonna do console. Okay, we're gonna put a few console logs here. This one's gonna be called results. Yeah, and there's probably a better way to. Oh, okay, so nothing. I think we gotta put item ready here. Because, yeah. So we need to do, okay, so this on item ready, what's going on here? Okay, so we are getting the data. Let's see. Oh, okay, so I think we just gotta put this on inside here. Okay. I guess it's way down here, middle of nowhere. So we put it. I'm gonna put it here. All right, let's see what happens now. Okay, so right now it's just empty. And if we pick this, then we can pick that. All right, and then we got something here. So see, we need something that's called ID underscore ID, and we got sys ID, but we don't have this ID element. So I think what we need to do is we'll need to map the sysids to it. So we can do that, I think. I'm surprised it doesn't give me any message here. All right, so let's go back. Yeah, these are kind of tricky when you're using, if you're using Wix collections, it's a lot easier. But when you're using your own data, you do need to create something. Let me see if I can do something like this. We're gonna I don't know if I can do this. Nope. Oh man, what the heck you do? Let me see external data. Let me see public using external source. Yes, is a repeater data stored as an array object. Each object in the array must contain a unique ID property which is used to match data object. Okay. Yeah, so see, he needs to have that. How do we add that? And I got code for that too somewhere. Uh-huh. Repeater. But see, nickname. Nope, not from here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up, and I know there's a easy way to do it. I don't know why they're not talking about it here. Same example. All right, so yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for now. But basically, if we want to fill out some of these other more static fields, like for this one, for example, we can do that when we load here. So if we want to load, so we can actually load it from here. So we can take W title, okay, boom, dot text equals E dot target dot label. Okay. If we pick that, let's see. Tournament. What? Okay, no. Oh, that's the label of this. Never mind. What? Tournaments. Let's see. Tournament drop down. Target. Let's see options. Global scope. No good. Oh, you know what? It's actually not the value, but if we just do name. All right, let me see. Okay. No, this tournament still. Okay, maybe this will work. All right, so we were passing the index of the label. Let's see. You. Oh, the index is O. What the heck? All right, yeah, this is crazy. But yeah, for our next video, we'll probably have this a little bit more functional. But yeah, hopefully you guys learn a few things. You know, I'm still pretty new at programming, so this is what I know so far. Always go back to reference, refactor my code, all that. So yeah, if this was useful, entertainment, give me a thumbs up. If there's anything I can improve, please let me know. Give me some feedback. And until the next time. So today we learned how to connect to our ServiceNow instance through our REST APIs on our Wix Velo website using some backend REST API code and try to make sense of that information in our front end here. Okay. So until next time. All right, take care.